Hi, as promised, here's a video for what to do when you come across an account that has some kind of issue. Now, most of the time that will be that their privilege has expired since they used their account last. This can happen certainly if for some reason they were missed in the batch upload, or if they come in the first 2 weeks of the semester and we haven't updated all of the accounts. It could be that their privilege has expired. And really all that is a flag that lets us know, hey, it's been a while since this person has used their account, and so we need to double check and make sure that everything is still accurate with their account. Most of the time, nothing will have changed, but we do want to make sure that we have all the correct contact information in there for them, especially since users are taking items out of the library most of the time when they're checking out. And so I'm going to pretend like this is a patron has approached the desk. We're going to use a test account for this. And so I'm going to pretend like I have scanned their barcode on their student ID, because they always have to have a student ID. And when I see this, I see a few options here. It says, oh, their privilege has expired. Okay, well then I have to go deal with that. Now, what I could do is click Update Privilege, and that will allow you, if you get that notice, it will allow you to go ahead and update that. But what we really want you to do is, at this point, go ahead and check their record to make sure that it is correct. And so we're going to review user record. And it shows me things about the student's account. And so I see, oh, their status is needs box. What does that mean? I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But it also shows me that their privilege expired in 2019. And so possibly something's happened with this record. This is a really great time to ask a question of the user about their address. And I see when I click on addresses, nothing happened, like there is no address in here. So that's a problem. There's also no extended info, which is because this is a test account. And so I'm actually not going to extend the privilege right now, because I haven't checked all of those things. So I'm going to cancel and close out of this screen, and I'm going to tell the user, it looks like I need to update your account. So before we can check this out, I'm going to click Modify User, and you'll notice that the test student is the last person that I had pulled up in the system, and so it's here as a current. So I could either scan their barcode in again, or I can just click Test Student, and that's going to bring their account up for me. So a few things I need to verify. Normally you would have a first name. You would want to make sure that was in there correctly. Last name, every once in a while someone gets married or something changes with that. And so you just want to double check. It should match whatever's on their ID. Also, we want to look at their privilege. And this is where I could go ahead and change that. I'm actually going to come back to that though, because their status says needs box. And what needs box is in our land is usually it means that they do not have their ETBU box number in their account. There are a couple of different options here for this. If it says withdraw, that means that that student has withdrawn from the university and they should not have access to change. The good news is at this point, you're going to make the updates, but before you're allowed to save that, you are going to have an override code to change the status of this account. And so you will have to make that status change. And so we are going to go to addresses, and this is where we would type in 6-1000 and go ahead and fill in their address. Talk to the user while you're doing this and get their information so that you can go ahead and put that information in. We want to make sure we have a good ETBU email address for them. That's our official line of communication with students. And so we want to make sure that we have all of that information. Same for a phone number. We want to put in a good phone number if we have that, and follow the template at the desk for how you need to enter that information in. So we can go ahead and change that. You're going to ask a supervisor to come make that change, and our status is now okay. And so that status has been changed. So now when I go back to check out, I can open the test student again. It still says, hey, you forgot to change their user privilege. So I can update the privilege, and that is going to roll their user privilege out to whatever date we have set in the system. And so that should go ahead and do that for me. And now I'm able to check out an item to that user. The big deal here is we really want you to pay attention to what those alerts are, to what those notes are on the account. That's where we would communicate if there was any kind of an issue. If you're not sure, you can always click on the name and you can see any kind of notes or comments that we may have added in for that student. Also, if there was an alert, you should see an alert message up here somewhere. And so lots of things there that you can look at. If you aren't sure, please always just ask a member of the staff. The system is really good about preventing you from checking things out that shouldn't be checked out and flagging those sort of things. We have it set to do that, but we want to make sure that things are going well at Circulation for users. And so always ask one of us if you're stuck. If you're not sure, we would rather you not leave the desk. And so hopefully you'll be able to just pick up the phone and call us, and one of us can come up to help if there's no one there at the front there with you when all this is going on.